do something. We weren't session guys because we were all writers, and that was nice to be a writer in a different circumstances, not enhancing a songwriter. But it wasn't always like that with John Foxx, because sometimes I would originate things that he would go from, but it was quite often originating a songwriter's idea, sorry, not originating, extending. So we were all writers, so we were all there to just put things into the pot and see what we could come up with. So it was a band, yeah, it was a different band, different kind of band from what I'd been used to.
And was Steve kind of like the art director, or what was his role? I mean, I know he's saying
I think Rusty, and when it gets down to the image of it, it was definitely Steve and Rusty that was more into that, with Midge, I think, as well. And because they had a whole thing, I mean, there was things coming through at that time, like PX, which was a shop there in Covent Garden, which had been doing punk stuff. They'd been doing the S&M gear and all that, you know. And then all of a sudden that suddenly changed to slightly space things. I mean, it's quite interesting at this time that the new romantic term hadn't come up at all. That came up in like early 1981. It was futurist, and that kind of came through this kind of stuff that PX were creating, because it was Rusty who instigated that kind of thing. I mean, I've got a very interesting memory, because we did the whistle test as part of our promotion that year. And I remember, because we were just like guys that just used to irritate people because our hair was a bit longer, or we just looked like we didn't really care. You know, a bit like Japan. It was, you know, our John was doing the European man bit a bit then. And I remember Rusty saying to me, "Nice T-shirt." In other words, you know, why didn't you make an effort? So when I remember doing the whistle test with Gary Newman, Kensington Market, and get these black suits and ties, remember that? It had rubbed off on me, you see. I was a bossy little so-and-so telling them what to wear. It was important, all this, you know, it really was. I mean, Gary was looking to me to dress them, which I did. But I remember Rusty and Midge turning up at the whistle test when I did the Gary Newman thing. So if you ever see that Gary Newman thing, which is shown quite a lot, they're all wearing these jackets and ties and stuff, you know, two-coloured ties, you know, all organised. And you look up at the top there, and I've got this great PX thing on, you know, shoulders out to about here, and it's like, hey, you know, black suit and white line down here. It's a crossover. Futurist was an extension of punk, but it's important, I think, to mention that, because we quite related to that. Ultravox did later on that year, because we'd got out of our apathy, and it was like thinking a bit like technology and almost like a spiritual side of it coming into the music, you know. Which was really not where punk was at.
How long was it after the break with John? Obviously, you mentioned you did the Ultravox and Gary stuff. How was it if we invited Midge to come and, you know, board?
I mean, you've got to laugh at this now, because I mean, I just want us not having any of it at all. It was like, I'm doing Visage, I'm enjoying this, you know, I just don't want to know about it. But Rusty was quite pushy, and it was like, I enjoyed working with him. I mean, I keep saying it was a laugh, but it really was a laugh. You know, it was. So later on that year, I invited Midge to meet the other guys. It was in August, you know, when we'd done we hadn't done the Visage album, but we'd had a good crack at it, and it was time to sort of do something with it, you know, like do something with those demos, you know. So it was like, invited Midge along in August, met the other guys. Just near Island, actually, a pub just round the corner. Because Chris Cross fixed us up to go into, his lady worked at Island, and so we wangled going in there to rehearse. So our first rehearsals at the Labour were just being kicked off.
So after that, why did you think? I mean, did Midge say, I want to join the band?
Midge was quite no messing. You know, you were talking about guys that would just say what they felt. You know, which I thought was quite good after Ultravox, because we'd got a bit sort of thinking, what, you know, what's happening with Ultravox, Bill? You know. And then it was like later on in the year, it was like, what's happening with Ultravox? You know, we could do something. You know, and I didn't milk it or anything, but I mean, I just didn't want to talk about it. You know, and then. He was just dead straightforward. We could do something with it. I could see after working on the Visage stuff, I liked the way Midge was a pretty organised guy, you know, and he worked at the similar speed to me, and I liked that. good strong voice, and I watched the way he organised the vocals, and from that I thought it was a perfect opportunity for me to just see whether it was going to work or not with Ultravox, you know. It's good to see how he worked.
And what did you say to the other guys in the band?
Blunt Scottish accent. Hello, I'm Midge, you know.
I mean, did you say, I've met this guy called Midge,
Sorry,
who's
I'm
going
just
to be
being
our new
stupid.
vocalist?
Oh, sorry, what did I say?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just being stupid now. Yeah, I talked to them, you know. But I've been doing so much that year that I think they're a bit reluctant to answer the phone. Now, no, I'm getting bitchy now, aren't I? Now, they were up for it. I think they were. I mean, to be honest, Midge and Chris wondered what the hell what was going to happen, you know. And they were quite pleased that I'd done this. Sounds big-headed, doesn't it? But there was a lot of things happening, and I was getting on with things. And when I talked to Warren and Chris, they were like